Using cycling to explore new areas is a great thing, which is why Cycling UK, funded by the Heritage Lottery, have teamed up with Ynysybwl Regeneration Partnership to map new routes for you to explore. Ynysybwl is a small village in the Cynon Valley and, like many other Welsh villages, grew up out of the mining industry. This had a profound impact on the landscape.
When I first moved here in the early 1980s, I used to travel up and down all these valleys a lot, and I had a bright yellow car, and it was completely the wrong colour because it was never yellow. It was always black from all the coal dust and the muck that used to come off the mines onto the roads. The hillside alongside it was black from the pollution, so nothing grew. And you'd see men, tiny little men, stood up on the gantries with all this belching filth coming out of this thing. It was quite an incredible sight. I mean, I'd never seen anything like it before I moved to this area.
The mining industry permeated all aspects of life here, including childhood.
What we used to do, or the braver ones used to do, was catch the trams, or drams, whichever you want to call them, up and down, so where they'd dump the slag, then they'd come back down empty. But it was very, very dangerous. I can't recall anyone ever getting injured or hurt, but only the very brave would have the nerve to jump on the drams that come down around them.
Mining not only shaped people's childhood, but also affected many an early career.
I started as an apprentice. We did 6 months of training school. I started September 3rd, 1973, remember the day very clearly. Did 8 months in the training school, then came here. I trained as an apprentice blacksmith. I worked all the way through. I became what they call a rope smith, which is like a foreman. And eventually, Maggie Thatcher did a job, did me a favour, and she did do me a favour, and they closed the pits down. But otherwise, I was going to go anyway. I started doing an OU degree in the early 80s to get out of the place, because I could see it wasn't really the job for me. It was a dangerous job. People got injured, people got killed, and you get disillusioned with places, and I think you have to move on. And so I went for an easy job with a teacher because I wanted the holidays and the money wasn't bad.
When the mining industry faded, a gaping hole was left in the community. Life was tough for many. So how could this be turned around?
Health and well-being is, really the way forward for a mining community that has suffered years of deprivation, really.
Jill and Winford have been running an outdoor activity centre for 25 years, attracting visitors from near and far.
We were coming, there were families, weren't there?
Yeah, during the lockdown, yeah.
Here. All safe, all watching what they were doing, and it was really worthwhile.
And we are hoping those people will continue coming to the forest, yes. Because I must be honest, it's a good place to be, and people realise in this day and age that the benefit from your mental health, your well-being, just by being out in the outdoors. You see us in the news every day, and people coming here, so readily since lockdown, and let's hope they continue.
We think, with what we got here, we got a lot to offer.
Do many people know about someone, or do you think it's one of the?
Oh, don't tell them.
Okay.
It's our secret. We were getting rather annoyed in the lockdown because there's so many people going, what are all these people coming from? Where are they coming from? And my mate said, do you know, I saw something from Mr. Maddock here, which is about 5 miles that way. So yeah, it's getting a bit more known, I think, now. I try to promote it because I just think it's a wonderful place. I bring people up here, I just think it's a beautiful place that I'll be explored more, because I think the impression most people get of the valleys is an industrial wasteland. But it's not. You go up the top of there, and you see how little of land is occupied, and there is so much to do around here if you like the outdoor life.
The love of the outdoor life is what led to the fame of one particular local sporting hero.
Well, this is a gravestone of Guto Nyth Brân. He was somewhat of a legend in the world of running, and he's reputed to have been able to catch a hare whilst it was running. He's reputed to having won a race with a horse and a rider, and also to have run 14 miles, get back at home before the kettle boiled. And he was running a race one day over in Newport, and when he got to the end of the race, a friend of his tapped him on the back to congratulate him, and very sadly he dropped down dead at the very young age of 37. Well, my experience of Guto is intrinsically linked to the Bryn pub over there, because we would come up on a New Year's Eve and celebrate the life of Guto. One is by having a mystery runner every year to pay homage to him here at his graveside and run down from the old year into the new. And this is usually a sports person who's done something eminent throughout the year. And everybody would collect, everybody being myself and all and sundry, over in the pub, and you'd be standing on the windowsill. You know, you'd be that crammed in there, absolutely singing, enjoying yourself, talking, lots of nonsense going on. And we would be ordered by the lovely landlady there, Mrs. Blood Williams, to come over to the church and pay our homage in the church, or we weren't allowed to go back and have a stop on at all. So it was wonderful, wonderful memories. Everybody happy, singing, dancing, jumping up on windowsills and so on. I'm very pleased to say it's still going on to this day, and it's a wonderful, wonderful tribute to this man here. I'm very, very proud, as all of us in this area are, to be part of Guto Ynysybwl.
Following in the footsteps of Guto, more and more people are starting to appreciate what the area has to offer. And we're seeing local enterprises pop up to meet the demand.
Hi, I'm Andrew. I work for Upcycle, which is part of the community group. We're standing in the local bike shop, run for the community by myself. I work for the Ynysybwl Regeneration Project, and we're sort of a community-led bike shop. We don't sell bikes, but we repair all kinds of bikes. It's just busy all the time. I mean, Easter was crazy, like it is in all bike shops, but yeah, we're just flat out busy. And if it wasn't just me working here, we could be, 24 hours a day, really. It's crazy.
As people discover what Ynysybwl now has to offer, it's important to celebrate and remember where the community has come from.
Memories in our head. Miners sitting on a wall, fat and thin, short and tall, mufflers, dye caps, hobnailed feet, others walking down the street, smoking, chewing, taking snuff, all are different, all are tough, joking, laughing as they wait, the job they love, the job they hate. Shunny Munty, Di St. John, Stingo, Waxy, Little Ron, Blondie, Whitey, Sausage too, Tap Tap, Aye, and Magoo, names that bring a jolly tear, black-faced miners, winding gear. Trains all filled with shining coal, from that saviour, from that hole, all now gone, all is dead, all just memories in our head.
Mining has left its mark on the area, both culturally and physically. However, the beauty is clear to see. There remains much to be discovered. Why don't you hop on a bike and see what you can find?